And you'll kick it off and throw it to me?
Yep.
Excellent, thank you.
Hi, all. Welcome to Actual Play. We are coming back to play Abyssal, written by these wonderful folks right here. I think I'm pointing to them now. And this is our second session. The first one should be on YouTube. If not, I'll get there soon. And we're continuing the storyline and doing this playtest. But before we get started, let's introduce our lovely selves. Ash, you want to kick us off?
Sure. Hi, my name is Ash Cheshire. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm doing good. I had so much fun last week, and we were just chatting a little bit before we came on, and refreshing our memories about it. So I'm excited to continue. How are you doing tonight, Ed?
I'm doing fantastic, thank you. Hi, I'm Ed Turner. I use he, him pronouns, and I just realized, looking at myself, I'm wearing the same shirt I was wearing last week, and I want to promise everyone it was washed in the interim.
I mean, it would be very on brand for Vinny not to have washed his shirt.
Fair enough.
But yes, I think it's good to know that Ed has. Cool. I'm Sean Nittner. I use he, him pronouns. You can find me at Sean Nittner pretty much everywhere. I was playing Neil Sunshine last session, and I'm not going to be anymore. And we'll talk about that a bit in a sec once we get started playing. But this game I'm going to be playing Tessa, and also a member of the cult. But we'll get to Tessa and Vinny and our hijinks in a moment. I don't have to flip anything over. I forgot, because this wonderful setup, I've got everything on one space. So, Ash, do you want to tell us where we're at with?
Sure. So as we same place we started last time, we are still in Las Vegas, 1971. It is the heyday of Elvis Presley and James Bond, and the glittering lights, the big city. I decided to wear my star crown tonight since I am the representation of the City of Lights. And any excuse to wear a star crown. It's a city of excitement and luck and fortune and hope, and also graft and corruption and violence, and that's on the human side. And then there's also the Abyssals, who live in Las Vegas, as they live and have lived among and around humans, without humans particularly being aware of them most of the time. We'll get back to that as well. But one of the things that we do in Abyssal is, any of the Abyssal playbooks are available in any of our settings. The Las Vegas setting is just one of 3 that we have right now. And so we know for sure that we have the factions of our 2 players are represented. For Sean's character, do you want to give us a little bit about your faction? Do you remember much about your faction?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
So my faction is I'm in the cult faction, and my particular faction is the Smiler Beyond the Stars. It's the faction is run as a commune that operates just outside the city. So think of all the Red Rock, windswept bluffs, and people who are like living off the land, even in the desert, because it's not impossible, and they look like they live a very pastoral, very ascetic life, and that it could not be further from the truth, because the cult leader, rolls up in his 3 Rolls Royces, and they have tons of ownership of tons of things, but they have this commune that's just outside the city, and therefore just outside the municipal laws, that they indoctrinate people into joining and giving them lots of money. And they call it the commune. It's not really a thing you can leave easily, if at all. And so that's and they're angling to take over more and more of the sort of hotspots of Vegas.
I realized I didn't really explain what abyssals are exactly. So in case you missed us last time, the characters that Ed and Sean are playing are humans who have become part something else. And so that something else is the Abyssal. And so for Sean's character, it's the cultists of chaos gods, and so that is the sort of the Abyssal form is the avatar of a chaos god.
Yeah.
And so right now, their characters are in a liminal state. They're called liminals. They're sort of partly human and partly this other thing. And then in longer campaigns, one of the things that we'd be doing is taking them along the path of moving back and forth along that spectrum and exploring with each other and within their own characters what their attachments are to this new faction of beings that represent this other side of themselves versus their lingering attachments to humanity.
Yeah.
So Ed, introduce your character a little bit.
Absolutely. I am Vincent Peterson, better known as Vinny P. Once, not that long ago, a low-level mafia stooge who made some bad decisions and got sent out into the desert to dig his own grave, and accidentally stumbled across the Darklings. Darklings being the monsters to the monsters. They are creepy, ghoulish, subterranean humanoids who feast on the flesh of both human and abyssal alike. They are unpleasant. And he, in a normal situation, he would have been eaten, but for reasons unknown, because no one knows how you become a Darkling, he got pulled into the shadows and twisted into one of them. With memories of his life as a human, he's kind of pulled himself out with a goal to get back his old life, kind of, or even better, to take over that casino at which he was a stooge and make it his own.
Yeah.
And get all the flesh he could ever want to eat delivered to his door.
Just in a tied up with a bow.
Yeah.
So yes, we as Sean mentioned, his character is changing. How would you like to? Do you want to give us a little bit of your new character, Sean?
Yeah. Well, first I want to just talk a little bit about the meta reason. The reason it's nothing in game.
Cool. Yeah,
the reason for it. So Neil was the character I was playing last session, and even in the game, I was having like sort of hesitations about him because Neil was a very privileged cis white dude who was very much of a dude bro. Was very much he not only was a cis white dude, but he was grew up very wealthy, grew up with people telling him whatever he did was fine and right, grew up thinking other people's lives were expendable. So he was, the rarefied worst of the worst. And although we are playing monsters here, I don't want to play a monster. I don't want to play that kind of monster. I don't want to play the kind of monster that is actually just using their privilege to oppress other people. And that's, I think a lot of media presents characters like Neil in ways that make them seem charming. And a little bit, I felt like that's what I was doing too, was trying to sell him. And I was like, I don't want to do that. And I also don't want to try to redeem him. I don't need the story of the white dude who is a total douche nozzle but figures it out. Like, nah, I'm not spending cycles on that. So we decided that Neil's going to get written out of the story. He's done enough terrible things that people have reasons to gun for him. And I'm going to play Tessa, who's also a member of the cult. And she is not in quite the same position of privilege as he is. And she is kind of under the gun, honestly, because there's a regular offering that's made to the Chaos God. A tiny bit more background on the cult. The last nuke detonated in Nevada was on November 4th, 1962, and that was the one that woke the Chaos God. That's why there hasn't been one since. They realized that if there was another one, that it would completely free it. So the Chaos God exists in this like space that's in between reality and not. Cracked open by the nuke that hit after cracked open by many nuclear attacks on the Earth. But nevertheless, in an effort to try and fully bring it into the world, since we don't have nukes, we're making other sacrifices. And Tess is very concerned that her family is soon to be one of those sacrifices. So she's working real hard, real fast to try and make it so that the next person given up is not one of her family members, who are all members of the cult as well. Yeah, so that's a little bit about her, and also why we won't see Neil anymore.
Excellent. So there's just getting kind of that tie-in with the character creation that we did, figuring out. So last time when we ended, the two characters of last time, Neil and Vinny, had met each other and realized that they had something to offer one another. So when the three of us were talking, off camera and about sort of the removal of Neil and bringing in this other character, some things were decided to be kept. So you will be keeping your base of operations at the tanning salon. And so that might be because we established that the tanning salon belongs to the cult of the sun, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe that might be a way to bring Tess in some way. Maybe she has a connection there.
Sure.
But just to kind of stitch that last little piece of her character together to give that connection with Vinny of what it is that he might be able to do for her.
Oh yeah, I was very much seeing Tess coming to Vinny saying, so I heard my stupid brother, she's not blood related to Neil, but he's
right. They're all brothers and sisters in the company.
Exactly. I heard my stupid brother got in trouble, and now my parents, who are actually Neil's biological parents, but definitely not Tess's, and now my parents want me to pick up where he left off. So I'm envisioning this like, hey, can we work together proposition from Tess of that of like having known Neil well enough that she knew who Vinny was, or heard about him, or heard that Neil was working with somebody, at least, some small enough information that would allow her to approach Neil. Does that sit well?
Sounds good. Do we want to play out that meeting?
Yeah, sure. I think so.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we'll take it. Maybe we're at the base of operations.
Sure.
All right.
And so I'm going to actually do a little prologue first. So there's a little when we ended last time, Neil and Vinny were at the casino that Vinny is looking to reclaim, his previous location that he wants to take over. And the two of them had made it through a party that was going on, had found a room where they thought they might be able to get some information about some dealings that the casino was doing. Vinny was able to kind of take them that direction. There were a few complications, though. Neil's bombastic kind of dude bro nature led him to be, literally blowing fire during the party. He got his hands on some alcohol and a lighter and was lighting party decorations on fire. And then, unfortunately, the how's again the Nemesis's role with you, Vinny?
Jimmy Versetti.
Yes,
Jimmy Versetti, who ran security for the Royale and was the one who realized I was skimming off the top and sent me into the desert to die.
Right. He happened to be in the security room when they got in, and much as Neil tried to sort of step forward and be the face that Jimmy was dealing with, he did catch a glimpse of what a person that he knows should be dead, and actually doesn't look too far off the mark. Give us a quick description of what Vinny looks like.
The quick description is bad.
Bad. It's not good.
The slightly longer description is he really does look a lot like Vinny P. Wood if he had lied desiccating in the sun for several weeks, wearing a ragged brown suit that fits very poorly on a frame that has gotten more slender and stretched beyond normal human proportions.
Yeah. So one little complication that we have is the security at the casino now at least one of them is alerted to something has gone very, very wrong. But because of the way that scene ended, we've decided that he's not running off to tell anybody just yet, mostly because of his terror of both of these characters now. Neil had so much power and influence, and that family now has a not a controlling share, but a pretty significant share in the casino. And so you were able to get your hands on a little bit of information because he was completely stymied and kind of freaked out. And so we had faded to black at the end of last session there. So a little prologue before we introduce your new character. So we're there in the base of operations with the tanning salon that the two of you have kind of sequestered and turned into a place that you can work your clever dealings and make plans and all that good stuff. And Vinny, you were there waiting for Neil, and you of course the Darklings do not like light, and so Vinny's going to meet after dark with the lights off if possible. And so again, it's just that little bead of light that comes out from the closed tanning bed. And where in the room do you wait while you're waiting for Neil to show up, Vinny? Where's the most comfortable place in the room? We've got beds and some front windows and things.
I'm gonna assume that like at this point we've probably put some nice curtains in front of those front windows that are very thick indeed.
Right.
So I'm probably like actually close to them.
Okay.
I have a line of sight on the door, I have a line of sight on the door to the back, and because the curtain is closed, I'm like right where the light is not getting in. So it is a very dark shadow.
So you are perfect. So you are able to see as Neil starts to approach the door. And then you hear a scuffle and a muffled and that's it. If and when you go and look through the curtains, he's gone. You know it was him. He was whistling the way he always does.
Yeah.
And now he has disappeared.
That ain't good.
I think even just to seal the deal even more, I think like his sunglasses that he always wore are like left on the ground with them.
Excellent. Yeah, and there's like maybe one of those smiley face stickers is just kind of like dropping down to the ground, like Absolutely. It flew out of his pocket.
Beautiful.
And then so that will fade out and fade back in. We're still at the base of operations, and we've got the two of you there.
Right.
Sure. So I feel like this would be Tessa approaching and coming in. Ed, do you think this would be again a nighttime scene? Is that sort of only time?
I think that like nighttime is the best time, and I think that like if you're approaching through the front door, probably Vinny is not up top. He is in the basement right now, and you can probably like hear scuffling down there.
Oh, nice. So I think Tessa's a Latinx woman. She's dark skin, wavy black hair. She is dressed in she's just in like work coveralls, like that she works. Maybe she works like construction. Yeah. And she sort of pushes her hair back over her back and puts it in elastic. And then I think Vinny's going to probably hear her fiddling with a set of keys. She's been given keys to the space, but doesn't know which one's which. And so she's like trying a bunch before she finally opens it up and then kind of pops her head in. Hello?
Do you turn the lights on as you pop your head in?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that
Mm.
That
seems
seems
normal.
like the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you see, because down in the basement are a bunch of ghoulish figures, like maybe a dozen of them, long, vaguely humanoid shapes scuttling over a gory pile of meat, uh, all of whom hiss in terror as the light goes on, most of whom flee out of the sort of delivery hatch, scrambling over each other into the night. Uh, one of whom remains behind, Vinny, wearing a suit but cowering in the corner, saying, "Light off! Turn off the light! Turn off the light!"
Uh, okay, cool. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So Tess freaks out. She drops the ring of keys on the ground. She tries to run, she tries to grab them so that she can run away, but feels weirdly compelled that if she runs away, she has to lock the door behind her for some reason. So for some reason, she's fixated on picking up the keys, but she keeps on not being able to grab them because she can't look away from you because she's in horror, so she won't actually look at the keys and she keeps like groping for them.
Excellent.
And she's kind of like hyperventilating and muttering to herself, what the fuck, you know.
All right, I'm not
Definitely
going to
not.
help because I'm going to run straight towards you with
Oh, good.
my
Yeah.
loping gait as a
Yeah.
darkling. I
All right.
scramble on all fours, strange and animalistic, but faster than any human.
Yeah.
With alarming speed, I clamber up the stairs, slap down the light, and sort of wind up a few inches away from you. Say, "Who are you? What are you doing here? How do you have these keys?"
And Tess has finally managed to get a hold of the keys and she's just got her back to the wall. And you can't, I mean, how well can Vinny see in the dark?
Pretty well.
Pretty
Yeah.
well. So the, I think the, I think, you know, like whenever a show depicts darkness, they still have to have enough lights that the camera can pick it up. So I
Mm-hmm.
think like the show is telling you it's pitch black, but the camera, there's still enough ambient light that you can see like Tessa's eyes are just as wide can be. She's sitting there in terror and she is looking at you and she's sort of holding the keys kind of defensively as though they would somehow protect her for no good reason. And and it takes her a moment before she finally can articulate herself and she says, uh, uh, I mean, I'm I'm Neil's sister and I got sent our parents sent me to meet and she just kind of like looks like it's got to be you but she can't believe it is you
You know what
and she sort
happened
of
to
holds out the
Neil?
keys like a peace offering like it you said well, how'd you get the keys it's like
Yeah.
you want them you know
How do you know Neil? What? Where is he? What happened to him?
and asking about Neil kind of helps Tess gain her composure
Good.
because she can't fucking stand him so she's like oh yeah, I know about Neil because I've spent half my life with him because he's a fucking idiot.
Well, yes, I know that much, but he was a fucking useful idiot for me, and I'm kind of in the lurch. Wait, he's your brother?
I mean, we're all brothers and sisters on the commune.
Oh God, you're one of those weirdos. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I'm one of those. That's right. I'm one of those weirdos. That's exactly 100% true. Not that anything here is strange.
Yeah, okay,
He
that's
really does
fair.
get that from everyone.
Yeah. So you're Vinny P?
I am.
Oh,
I'm Vinny P. I'm
Cool.
I guess a partner of your brother's, former. We were working together.
Yeah, I think he got picked up by somebody. Our parents want me to finish whatever he was up to. That's not true. She was told somewhat. Our parents want me to finish working as for their on their behalf with you, as well as try and figure out what happened to like where he is. I honestly don't care about that second part. I'm not going to work on that. I'm just telling you right now. If it's a
Alright.
question of saving Neil or like clipping my fingernails or like doing my neighbor's gardening, there will be no weeds in that garden. That's what I'm saying.
Well, okay. Neil was going to help me take over the Royale Casino. You want in on that?
No.
It's what Neil would have wanted.
I get, I guess, yes. That's what I am here to do.
Right. I like that. Why don't we come on down to my place in the basement and we can
Do we
chat.
have to? Do we have to go down there? Could we go literally anywhere but down there?
I guess we can stay up here and chat if that makes you feel better.
I mean, it doesn't make me feel great, but it is better.
But
I think that's a thing we should sort out is our eating schedules.
You're right. I am starving. I'm going to go finish up. Everybody else ran. It's all mine.
I'm going to go outside.
Thank you.
I'm going to vomit like 3 times. And then maybe we could meet back in here when we're both done with our respective gastrointestinal functions.
I love it. Beautiful.
Great.
And I scamper back downstairs.
And I run out.
Beautiful. All right.
I'm cool with just like smash cutting from there to like assuming that we've talked about things and going.
Cool. That was going to be my question. If you wanted to do some more free play or if we wanted to go a little bit meta and just kind of make some character agreements. So, Sean, does Tessa tell Vinny about the sacrifice stitch?
No, not at all.
Just making sure that wasn't just initial.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to open with that, but
no, she's not. It's not. So it's one of those things where like it would be very gauche within the commune to talk about it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's a private thing. It's considered a blessing. So she'd have to like explain a lot of context before she could really explain why she doesn't just run in and grab her parents and put them in a truck.
Have to brainwash someone before they'd go along with it.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to understand the brainwashing that she and her family have gone through to understand why they would put up with this. So if I just said, my family's in danger and someone said, well, let's get them out of there. It's just not that simple.
It's not that simple.
So she's not ready to just like spill that. And the more Vinny comes to understand the commune, the more comfortable she might feel talking about it. But I don't think it's a thing she'd reach out. Also, she just doesn't know whether she can trust him or not yet. I mean, that's
And so, in Tessa's mind, even though she hasn't shared this with Vinny yet, what is she wanting from him specifically?
Oh,
what is her goal with him, and what has she told him that she wants in exchange?
I mean, I think that I think that Neil positioned this as like we're gonna run the Royale. If I know Neil, he would have just said it's going to be ours. Tessa may now be having a reappraisal of this situation and maybe thinking maybe the best I can get is 50-50, but it's certainly more than the controlling factor. So she's ostensibly here to finish to clean up after Neil. So it's in the moment, it's to gain control of the Royale. Her desire for that outcome is to get enough clout with the cult that she can get her parents off of the
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you for that clarification, because I wasn't sure what her goal was with like finding a different sacrifice or
this is all
really the goal is just for them to become too important and elevated in the cult for them to be sacrificed, and that will excellent. Thank you. All right. And
she doesn't have any belief that she could like actually like overthrow or stop or hurt the cult, right? Like Vinny wanted to Neil wanted to like trap the cult in some
Neil wanted to like
chaos dimension.
He was really aiming
he wanted all of the chaos god's power for himself. He wanted to eliminate everyone else in the cult so that it was all his. Tess is
And that's going great for him
much
so
simpler.
far.
Well, I mean, for all I know, Neil's plan's working exactly according to plan. Who knows? But yeah. So I think that she's like, cool, let's take over the Royale. That's what I'm here for.
Cool, excellent. So yeah, basically, we'll do another kind of mission setup sort of thing, and I think we can smash cut to a little bit later. Tessa has had a chance to kind of get her bearings, get her stomach under control. Maybe not the same night. Maybe this is another time that
later,
they've
sure.
kind of gone away and come back. So
I think we can tell the passage of time by the cheesy logo that's outside of the tanning salon. Like, how in every episode of Bob's Burgers, there's like a different
the new business.
There's a new business out front, and there's a new special burger. I feel like every episode.
The special burger for sure.
There's a new like tanning deal, and if I was really good at coming up with puns, I would think of them. In fact, now I'm going to desperately searching for tanning puns.
Right? Yeah, seriously.
But yeah, so they'll be like, we can tell it's different because there's a different stupid special that has a bad
Orange You Glad we've reformulated our colors?
Yes. Orange You Glad is definitely the one there, since that's
different seasonal specials and things. Cool. Yeah. So sort of a dissolve fade. You see sort of some of the signage change to give an indication that it's a little bit later. These two have had a little bit of time to kind of get used to each other and get used to each other's little quirks and things. Great. So let's see. You did succeed in the first mission in getting some information. We have a slight complication with the security guard there, but he's at least currently under your thumb a little bit. Although now that Neil has disappeared, there's a little bit of, he was frightened of Vinny, but he wasn't necessarily intimidated by you. He's just, he saw a ghost, or a shambling corpse, either way. So you'll have some information about what the casino is doing, and I can define some of that, or I can leave that up to you all. But let's just say you have some information about some of the things that they're going to be doing. You've got some of their plans.
Yeah, if you have things in mind, I'd love to get a little bit more sort of setting.
For sure. So, I was thinking in particular, you may have gotten some information about some of the things that got screwed up when Vinny was sent out, right? You got a little bit more information about some of those. You said it was payments and things that you kind of messed up, Vinny?
I was skimming off the top. So
skimming off the top. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, since you left, they've gotten much more paranoid, really, about all of that, and so they're keeping much tighter records of everything. But they're also, this casino is not. It doesn't have clean hands. It's doing backdoor deals and things. And so some of the stuff that you found is a little bit mundane, but it's definitely something that you could get them in trouble, at least with the human authorities.
Mm-hmm.
Things like there's an awful lot of booze coming in that you don't see real clear records on where it came from. Things like that. They're just like, maybe they're lifting things off the back of trucks, or they're, there's some diagrams that you found that show that they are weighting the slot machines, and there's some indications that maybe the roulette wheel isn't perfectly balanced. Those kinds of things. They're just everywhere they can. They're just kind of tweaking things to be to their own benefit.
All right. This is all good knowledge. I like this, but what I want is something big. What I want to find is something that'll just take him from the neck down. That'll get the law to come in and just burn everyone out of here. It's that illegal. It's that grandiose.
Is that what Vinny is sharing with Tess, or is that just?
Yeah, I feel like Vinny's being pretty open with Tess.
And does Vinny give Tessa access to the papers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tess, I'm going to have you do a gather information roll, or a like a research roll for me.
Perfect. It's a thing Tess is good at. She's a smarty. Yeah, so I think she's looking at it and she's like, well, I get that. I know you want to find the smoking gun here, but we might have to start small. We might have to pick away at them here. Yeah, let's see what we can find. And she's digging through, and I think
you're looking over the papers.
Yeah, let me get to the rolling screen. How did this roll? Yeah, so I think Tessa's looking at those papers, and maybe she's got like a couple weeks worth of newspapers as well, and she's got some various where they report the local crimes in there. She's got like various clippings that she thinks might be related. She's sort of trying to parse together like, if this says one thing, what else might it be tied to? What other things could we get? So what's my it's just a fortune roll, right? Because it's gather information.
I'm gonna have you do research, and that should be let's see, that'll be one of your
Yeah, that's one of my actions. But so if something has like a threat, then it's an action roll. And so
for sure. Yeah. So we'll do a gather information roll.
Yeah, cool.
That sounds good.
Ed, do you want to spend a stress to help?
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely be poring over these with you. I feel that I am not nearly as smart, but
I think your history and your knowledge of them is still be useful. Like she's going to ask you a bunch of questions, like, "Do you know this guy's name?"
I'm thinking too. Yeah, that you're kind of hammering him with questions, and
right,
and that's the stress of it. Is like, oh yeah, okay, hold on, I think I've seen that somewhere, and kind of running around and pulling the papers together.
Cool. So I got a 4, which is standard information.
Okay. So let's see. Because of Tess's insider knowledge about things, so you're looking at all this, and you notice that there are some like floor plans that y'all got your hands on that are showing there was a pretty major rearrangement of some of the gaming tables in sort of, it doesn't really make sense why they just kind of shut down, because there's some news articles that you're looking at that were talking about, ooh, exciting renovations might be happening at the casino, and it was completely shut down for several days, kind of recently. And a bunch of the gaming tables all got moved around to very specific new locations. And this seems a little weird to you.
Yeah, I think she, like, her very, very first thought is like, hold on, let me draw a map of it and see like what weird symbol these gaming tables, like she's immediately assuming there's pentagrams here and like and like that there's some occult significance. That's the first thing that comes to her mind, is that this has got to be some occult significance. And then she's kind of like sitting there and she's like, oh, hold on a second. There's one good thing that Neil did do. One thing he's useful at: slapping those damn stickers everywhere. She says, this is gonna look a little weird, but then again, considering how we met, I think I owe you one. And so I took the ability called Blood Magic when I'm performing a ritual. You may check the bloody trauma to add plus 2d to your roll. I would like to perform a ritual that theoretically everybody in the cult knows, but Neil never thought about, where I take out a little X-Acto knife and I cut a slit in my forehead. And as it's bleeding down, a third eye opens up And at the same time, we see one of the eyes on one of those stickers open up. And I'm looking in the casino to see the design. All of those stickers are the eyes of the cult. If that's cool with you, Ash.
No, I love that. Yes, it is so cool with me.
So I want to
so
see,
creepy and cool.
Yeah, and in fact, if it depending on how well she does, it might be many of these stickers.
For sure.
But yeah, they all open and we see. And what Vinny just sees is just, it looks like sunshine is coming out, so she has to like turn away from him so she doesn't burn him or anything.
Yeah.
But
such a great pair.
Yeah, I was thinking about the stupid stickers, and I was like, what if they were?
Oh, I like that a lot.
That's great.
So, especially considering all the dumb places he put them.
Like, yeah, he was slapping them everywhere.
His elders by like slapping them in bathroom stalls. I'm like, I didn't want to see that.
Oh no. He really was asking for it.
So I'm marking bloody, and I think the action I'm going to be using is a line.
Yep.
Cool. I have 2 dots in that. And what I want to do is basically like use this sort of like, I imagine it very like the vision, because it's going to be all the stickers that are in the casino. I imagine it being like a very like kaleidoscope vision where it's just
For
like
sure.
kind of overwhelming.
Really intense. Yeah.
And so she really needs to focus and like and ground herself and align herself to figure out what the significance of those tables are, like who's at them and what's going on with them and what the auras around them are, because I imagine that in addition to seeing just the physical world, she can also see a little bit of the through the veil, and it sort of like stands out. So yeah. Cool. This I think is risky, because I feel like anytime you tap into the power of the chaos god,
really, that's and because there's so much that she's trying to reach out through.
Yeah. So what do you think the position and effect for this is?
Yeah, I think risky position sounds right.
Cool.
Effect, though, I feel like you might have a bit of a leg up because you have the opportunity to set it up. You're not in an urgent situation. You're in your own space. You've got some time to set this up and so
cool. So risky, great. Does that sound?
That sounds right. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Yep. I'm just gonna. I've got 2d6 from Align, and because of blood magic, I have another plus 2d6. So
another plus 2d6. Excellent.
I think 4 dice here. Hopefully, will not fail me. All right. That 4th die got me a success with a complication. Cool. Awesome.
Okay.
That's the best result.
All right.
The most fun result, anyway.
For sure. So you absolutely succeed. Your Tessa's third eye opens, as do all of the stickers in the casino. There were a lot of them.
Yeah.
And
I'm really uncomfortable about the ones he put on people's bodies.
Well, and I'm going to say you're able to tune out some of them. You can kind of no, not that, no, not that.
Yeah.
But it's still very intense. The ones that you do want to look at are the ones that are inside the gaming room. And the complication is that when they all open and the eyes are all, you are looking into your own third eye here,
right,
through many eyes, that inadvertently, that actually and you're seeing some of the weird as well, that what you see and the energy that you've just put into this illuminates all of these ley lines, these threads of fate, essentially, that have now all been rearranged because of the rearrangement of the gaming tables. Mm-hmm. All of these little, sort of fate, random event generators, which is really what roulette wheels and slot machines are.
Sure.
There's a huge amount of fate that's threaded through here. And these have now all been pulled so that it creates a harmonic resonance. And when you get into that and have all of that power going, you've just essentially given it a jolt. And so the
nice.
vision ends rather quickly, and you're not really sure exactly what you just turned on, but you just turned on some very big machine of some sort. You just
Just kicked on the Fate engine.
Yeah,
No
Nice.
problem.
gave quite a jump start to something that was being set up and does not seem to have been intended to be turned on just yet.
What the hell did you just do?
I put my head over my I put my palm over my head, and I'm just like, oh my god, I have a headache.
Why? Yes.
Why? Which? Hold on, you got to slow down. Which part?
I'm saying one word, all of it. Why? Your head. No. What are you doing?
I was trying to find out what. Oh god, I forgot how much head wounds bleed. I was trying to figure out what my brother found and what the significance of these tables being moved around was, because I assumed it was for some occult reason, and I was right.
What are you talking? There's no occult reason. What do you believe in, magic or something?
Minnie, have you spent any time looking in a mirror?
Christ, no. Have you seen what my face looks like? I don't want to be
Yeah,
reminded of that every day.
Every day, I do. And weirder things. So you don't believe in like things on the other side of the veil. I mean, oh God, I do not want to try to convince a person that the cult powers are real. That is exactly how my family got roped into this. Okay, there's weird shit. It's probably not real, but it's still, people are doing stuff about it, and this might be our in to getting the other factions to turn against the Royale.
All right, I guess I can buy weird shit.
How's that?
Yeah, okay, fine.
Like, it's so funny because Tess totally wants to explain all this, but she just knows that she'll go right into like she'll go right into like a sermon. Like it's impossible for her to understand the occult outside of the like this religiosity that she doesn't believe in and that she doesn't like. But like that's how she was trained on it. So she's like, nah, not gonna explain. But it's worth knowing that we're now under the gun to do this very quickly, because I think I just turned something on that, I don't know, could be really bad for us, the casino. I don't think anyone was meant to access the ley lines directly. So
okay, so you use some sort of crazy cult magic to turn on some sort of weird, different magic at my casino.
Yeah, that's about the size of it.
Hell. Okay. I think we need to figure out what you turned on. We need to figure out who set this thing up. You know, who's making these plans, and just beat some answers out of them.
Yeah. Okay. Beating answers out of them. Okay, that's not exactly my strong suit, but sure. We could
got you covered on that one.
You got me covered. Okay, go. Phew, good, awesome. So you want to go to the casino that I just sort of lit up and go beat somebody up until they tell us what's going on?
I mean, not just anybody, but yeah, unless you got a better idea.
I mean, I was thinking along the lines of tell the other factions what's going on and see if they're willing to take action. But yours is probably more direct. I mean, mine's probably weighted down with politics and bureaucracy, and we'd have to wait for other people to make decisions, and they'd have to weigh their choices, and maybe this just isn't worth them caring about. So yeah, sure, let's go with plan. Sneak in and beat up. Wait, didn't you just sneak in last time, and didn't that go poorly?
I mean, it went fine for me.
Yeah, but it didn't go so good for Neil. And then again, not defending Neil, but I'm the Neil in this situation, so I'm a little concerned about going in and disappearing.
Mhm.
Okay, so you wanna learn facts first. Is that's your learning? Cool.
Ash, can I ask you a follow-up about that? Did I
Yeah.
have any sense that I would recognize if I went there in person, that I would recognize what the hell I turned on or who was involved? Like, would there be any way for me to learn more about this if I had more access to it?
Um,
Is it,
how much of the training would you say Tess has gone through with the commune in terms? I mean, we just learned that she knows what must be a pretty advanced ritual. Um,
yeah.
so, and she recognized what those lines were, and recognized the sensation of power being kind of pulled through her into something. So I feel like a lot of the pieces there are in place to say that she's probably a decent practitioner. Um,
I think she is, and I think it's by way of um, you earn all these different levels in the community. There's a very like pyramidy scheme, and the more you kind of give up, yeah, it's terrible, right? And her family has bought in like whole hog. Like her legal name has been changed to Rainy Sunrise. She does
right,
not use that name.
right,
She does not like it, but like all of her family's property and valuables have been turned over to the commune's name.
yeah,
Like they have bought in completely. Whether they still believe it or not, I think is maybe not completely certain. I don't think
sure.
I don't think their ideology is necessarily completely aligned, but they've completely invested their family's wealth um, and that's earned them higher standing than people who are the day trippers. She's
Gotcha.
been
Yeah,
with
for sure.
them for 10 years or more, and so I think that she and her family have gotten it. So yeah, I think that
Yeah, so I think there's enough pieces there. Now, the question will be, is it the same sorts of things that the cult uses? You probably after 10 years you're aware that there are other groups in town who access these same powers and entities for different purposes. I mean, even within the faction, even within your own faction, there are multiple cults, right? And so, will you understand everything about it? Probably not. Will you be able to look at it and maybe get a sense? Yeah, yeah,
okay, cool. Yeah, I definitely like Neil. I think would definitely have understood like, oh, there's the Fae, or oh, there's this other cult. Tess has no worldly experience in that regard. She wouldn't
yeah.
know anything outside. So yeah, I think that makes total sense. So yeah, she's like, well, learn, but I mean, learn probably by going there. So we got to figure out a way for you and I to get in without, I don't know, setting something on fire. Is that what he did?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, we need a lower profile than that. Is there any way for you to look more normal? I'm sorry, that was rude, but like
Oh, okay.
less
I got it.
stretched out?
Uh, I scramble over to a side table where I have
Wait,
kept Neil's dropped pair of sunglasses.
maybe
And I slip them over my head.
nice.
Do I look better this way?
How about now?
I mean,
Got
the
big
soul
ghoulish eyes.
the soulless black eyes are covered, so that's good. Yeah, that's a plus.
Listen, I don't know. I'll wear a flippin' cloak or something. Just if you can.
Hold on. Casinos have people dressed up as all sorts of weird things. We just need to figure out the weird thing that
Yeah.
you look like you could be, and then you're just part of the show. Let's think. What's a weird ass thing? I'm not wrong in this, right? Like it seems
Yeah,
reasonable that
seems
there's
Mhm.
reasonable.
some sort of
Totally reasonable.
performing troupe.
Yeah.
Me as Sean is maybe not. I'm thinking of like like a circus performer, one of those like
Yeah, that was
people
kind of what I was thinking
does
too,
like
right?
really
Like on
long
stilts or
stretchy.
something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Contortionist.
contortionist or something like that. Somebody that
Ooh, good
does.
call.
Yeah, I like the stilts idea too, because stilts I think would like sort of mask how long your legs and arms are, because your legs would be no one would be able to tell because you'd be on stilts, and your arms would be far away. So
Your arms are just far away.
right, I mean they're way up in the air, so it's
Yeah.
hard
Right.
to see
That's
they're
fair.
so long. What do you think, Ed? What do you-
I mean, I think Vinny hates this idea, but I love it. So I am perfectly fine to smash cut to circus outfit.
Okay, cool,
Excellent.
awesome. I
Like
like
maybe
this.
like clown makeup as well. Like
Mhm.
his face is already ghastly white, so just
Nice.
smear a red smile on top of
Right,
his
so we
big
don't
mouth.
need foundation. You just already have the white. Cool. Yes, so we're gonna go in.
All right, so the mission is to go back to the I'm sorry, I've forgotten the name of this casino. The
The Royale.
That's it. The Royale Casino. And you're gonna try to get in dressed as sort of an entertainment thing. And Tess, are you disguising yourself in any way?
I don't think they know me, so I think I want to go in as like I think given your connections and Neil's connections, that it would be hard for me to go in and look like I was an employee, like someone who worked in the like not a like a server.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Do
just
many other people from the commune come over now that there's a controlling, well, not a controlling interest, but a major sharehold with
yeah.
the commune?
Yeah, I don't think
So-
it's like I mean I don't think there's anything weird.
Okay,
And
so
there's
it's not out of the ordinary for you to be going and hanging out at the casino that your family now has.
yeah. And the fact that Neil went and caused such trouble is I
Oh.
think largely seen as like, well, that's a personal thing. Like it's not like that we still own shares. Like it doesn't, like yes, he's a piece of shit, but also whatever they did to him is uncertain. So there's like another like that's I think not talked about.
Okay.
Would be my guess. So yeah, I think that she will go dressed as a waiter.
All right.
Okay.
Like she's, so she can walk around. Question. I wanna think a little bit about the last score that we did and sort of honor the outcome of that. So the outcome of that was that we were gonna like find some like dirt that we could then frame Jimmy on, and instead we sort of found a lead to this sort of occult abnormality. Ed, do you feel adequately like the outcome of that score was sort of honored and as it segues into this? Because I know it's not going the direction that you were looking at, like how can we get the cops to bust them? And that,
Yeah, I mean, I think Vinny on the whole isn't like too set on his plan. He wants general purpose revenge. So if things have changed from like getting the cops involved, which he doesn't super want to do in the first place, to figuring out that they're up to some even bigger, even weirder score that he can either disrupt or take advantage of or get them in trouble for. I think that definitely honors his spirit, at least
cool. Awesome
in what he was trying to do.
Great.
Fantastic. Yes, let's go sneak in and learn what we can learn.
All right. And so I assume, Vinny, you probably share with Tess the strategy that you and Neil used. Are you going to advocate for the same strategy this time of come on in and then meet me at the side door? Or
oh yes, because I don't want to be under the lights. So tell you what, just open one of the bathroom windows. I think that'll be easier, and I can just sneak in through there. I'll have my clown makeup with me. God,
are you going to bring it with you? Okay, so you're not going to be in costume beforehand. You'll kind of get into makeup in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's my plan.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
I'm just a surprise stilt clown coming out of a bathroom like happens in a Vegas casino all the time.
No, it's so common.
Right. I think it takes Tess a while because finding a bathroom that has a window that opens up to the outside is not common at a casino. So she's like, where how did anyone else do this? And I think it's, sometime later when finally a window cracks open and Tess pokes her head out. She says, "Psst,
About time.
yeah, well, most of the bathrooms are interior facing walls. So it's what I could find.
All right.
I'm in here. Also, be quick.
I can scramble on in pretty easily.
Yeah.
I got rubbery bones. This
I
little
want to say
window's
this
no trouble.
window is probably doesn't look big enough from Tessa's perspective for Vinny to fit through. Like she's like, I don't think this is gonna work. I think it's a typical bathroom window, right?
Yeah.
It's just slotted open. I mean, this is the 70s, so it's not barred or anything like that, but it's
for sure.
It's high up. It's maybe 6 feet up or something like that. So she's stepping on like the sink to get to it, and it just angles out a tiny bit. So
all right, yeah, I like to think she can't even get her head all the way out. She just sort of
right. She kind of, she's just kind of got her fingers there, and she's standing with one foot on the bathroom sink and trying not to fall off. And I don't know how this is gonna do any good, but.
Yeah, Vinny hoists himself up and starts squeezing his head through this tiny gap, and like if you watch closely, his head is deforming as he moves in a really unpleasant way that, like, given his grunts of exertion, sounds kind of painful. But he is sort of pushing himself through this very small opening, comes out with a pop, and then after that, it is kind of easy for him to wriggle his lanky body through. Yeah. And he just sort of falls onto the sink, rolls onto the ground, gets up, straightens himself. All right.
Gross.
Time to put on my clown makeup.
Yeah. Right. And meanwhile, Tess has backed away in horror as usual.
Yeah. Tess, did you lock the bathroom door?
Well, that's the thing. I don't think it locks. So she's now standing in front of it.
Oh, there's not even a like. Oh, okay.
I mean, there's like a lock on the stall, but I don't think there's a lock in the bathroom itself.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so she's standing with her foot jammed in the doorway.
Oh, cool.
I'm still in here. No, I need all of it.
Every once in a while, there's a little like kind of a slight push and then sort of, and a little knock, like, hello. But there are other bathrooms. People move on pretty quickly.
Yeah. Cool. So she's waiting as you get suited up and averting her eyes, not because of modesty.
Excellent.
And why don't we take a break with that, and then we'll
jump. That sounds good.
All right, sounds good.
Excellent. So everybody, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll be back in a little over 5 minutes, and we'll figure out how this. I'll figure out what's going on with these ley lines. See you all.